tonight Michael's going to present what is the world, and it's going to look like what is the world. Is it this or is it this? And so I'll now turn it over to Michael.
So there is a thought system that goes along with living from this side of the board. And the thought system doesn't include any words that come from this side of the board. These words are all thumbprints that have been put upon us, that have resonated, experiences we've had, or resonated our genetics. And for most people, they've gotten lost in those thumbprints and the world of behaviors and words based in this side of the board. There is a thought system that comes from this side of the board that is based in love. There is a thought system that comes from this side of the board that's based in hostility and fear. The lesson I'm going to present tonight is What is the World from A Course in Miracles. I consider it to be one of the most important lessons in the Course and one of the most misunderstood lessons in the Course. And if you have this lesson in error, then what happens is you tend to try to do the practices of the Course backward. And it leaves people in confusion and not understanding. Now, if one is convinced, pardon me, that their thought system from this side of the board is the truth, then they're going to be very threatened when that thought system is threatened. In fact, from the Course on the text on page 51, it says, "You fear the destruction of your thought system." If I do my job correctly tonight, your thought system is going to become very fragile if there's any form of hostility or fear in it. And that is hostility or fear that is either in awareness or not in awareness. Hostility and fear that we keep hidden from ourselves, that we try to become positive thinkers and try to positive think on top of a negative foundation. And so I invite you to be willing to have your whole thought system threatened and taken apart. One of the things the Course says is that nothing real can be threatened. If your internal mechanism produces some form of threat or disturbance, then your thought system is error and you're not living in truth. One of the major things that happens with people is that they tend to live in denial. Big key to the whole process. If I live in denial, and we have a specific definition for the word denial in this work. Whenever I think or speak as though what's happening inside of me is caused by something outside of me, I'm in denial. And so when I think or speak something that's generated inside of me, as though it's coming from outside of me, then I have to hide from myself the source of the thoughts that are disturbing to me. And the hiding of those thoughts is called dissociation. The Course talks about this petulant device where we take that which we most don't want to deal with and we hide it the only place that we're going to get to deal with it forever, and that's inside of us. And the key to doing that is when there is disturbance, when there's upset, to point at somebody or something outside of you, including the person in the mirror, and thinking that that's the cause of what's going on inside of you. If you do that, what will happen is that everything you've dissociated from will create an energy that will draw someone to you, and when that someone is drawn to you, you'll make up pictures. You'll paint those pictures on the inside of your eyeballs out of your own dissociated content, and those pictures will look like what's going on inside of you belongs to someone else. And that's called projection. Now, projection in the world is generally spoken of as though we take something inside of us and put it outside of us. That's not projection, that's externalization. Projection is When something moves in us, we make pictures of it. And we create a world that isn't there. And the world that isn't there is what is in need of forgiveness. The core of the Course in Miracles is forgiveness. It has nothing to do with me letting you off the hook because of what's happening inside of me. It's how I change what's happening inside of me and relieve myself of whatever it is that I've dissociated from. It's how I free myself from what never belonged, and I stop making up a whole world that exists only between my ears. So the place that the Course aims forgiveness at is changing the world between your ears. And whenever hostility or fear shows up there, to remove that. And just keep in the back of your mind that if you speak or think that the disturbance that you're feeling is outside of you, you're in denial. We've developed a tool in this work for determining whether or not something you're feeling is yours or not. It's a very, very complex tool, very difficult tool to apply, but it can be done. How do you tell if something you're feeling is yours or not? Are you feeling it? That's all you need to know. Now, you've got a thought system when you're feeling things. If you live in the standard ways of the world, you've got a thought system that says, they made me mad, they made me sad, they hurt me, they disturbed me, that upset me. And all of those words are of a thought system of denial and will lead you to living in a world that doesn't exist anywhere but between your ears. What we're looking to do is to support you in being responsible for the world that shows up between your ears. And if you're capable, if your physiology is capable of producing any form of hostility or fear, we're here to support you in understanding how to forgive that. And that word forgive means how to remove that, how to go inside yourself and literally remove the capacity for any kind of vile thought or word that destroys the truth of the being that you are.